This is a PTZ camera. More specifically, it is the 04P3X from Speco Technologies. This mini PTZ has 4 megapixel advanced analytics such as vehicle, person detection, and facial recognition, as well as smart tracking so you don't miss any event. Alright, let's see how it works. So the first thing we'll be looking at is the smart tracking ability from this PTZ camera. So the way it works is that as soon as a person or a vehicle comes on the screen and you have it enabled, it will start following them. But you can pair it with different events. So for example, in this scenario, we made multiple line crossing scenarios. So this way, every time a person reaches the line on the right side, so where there is the entrance, the camera will pick them up and start tracking. As well as in the street, so when there's a vehicle coming by in the street, whether it's left or right, same thing, well, the camera will start tracking the vehicle. So for example, if we start looking right here, it will give you a quick overview of how it works. So I cross the line right here, and you have the auto zooming that starts happening on myself. So it follows me around whether I'm running or not, and then you can see it just focusing on the person right here. And what I really like is how smooth the transition is. So sometimes PTZ cameras can be clunky, but this one specifically, I like how smooth the rotations happen. And not only that, but the difference with the small PTZ like this one and a big one is actually the sound it makes. So for this one, the sound is barely noticeable when you compare it to the big industrial PTZ camera we're used to see. You can also adjust the field of view of this camera. So I mentioned it does zoom in and out automatically. So whether I'm moving on the right side or after that I will move on the left, you see the camera adjust this perspective. But this is something you can configure by yourself on the application. So you can choose to have a narrower field of view, or if you want to have a bigger one, this is up to you, but in this case, as you can see, it can zoom it by itself. Another thing I wanted to showcase is for vehicle detection. So for example, here you can see the camera moving when it sees the vehicle moving, it zooms on the vehicle, but what's really interesting for me is when I get out of the vehicle. So even though there are two subjects on the screen, the camera picks up the subject that is actually moving. And that can be really helpful when monitoring a situation. So when the car stops, it will stop tracking the car and actually pick the person that gets out of the car, so you're really able to assess what's going on. And all of this is true whether it's daytime or nighttime. This is something Speco is really known for. It's for their low light and IR adaptability technology, and this is what we're showing right now. What it basically means is that the camera can intelligently adjust the intensity of its infrared illumination based on how far away objects are. So if a person or an object is close, the camera doesn't overexpose the image with too much IR light. And what that means for users is a more balanced and natural looking night image. So as you can see here, the same demo, but you still have the clarity of the picture. You're still able to really see what's going on. You don't get that overly bright look on close-up objects or that too dark look on distant ones. Now pair that with its 3x optical zoom and you get a great solution for any retail store or even your office. Just by its covered look, everybody would think that this is a dome camera that is installed and they have no clue that it's been following them all along. But it's so much more. This camera has a built-in microphone. You have storage redundancy with the micro SD card slot that can go up to 256 gigabytes. And you get that 355-degree panoramic rotation. You can also do your monitoring through the Speco Technologies application. So this way you're able to monitor all your cameras on the palm of your hand. So you don't need to be sitting in front of your screen to assess what's going on. So if you're debating on getting a dome camera, a turret, or a bullet, always keep in mind that mini PTZs exist. So you get all the same features that a big one gives you for the outdoor protection, but for indoor purposes. It's just a great solution to have. Alright guys, I'm Jeremy from Pipl Systems. See you on the next one.